We ask that the captains for each team please proceed to center field for the coin toss. Nous demandons au capitaine de chaque formation de s'amener au centre du terrain pour le tirage au sort. Voici les arbitres pour le match d'aujourd'hui. Here are today's officials. Referee Stephen Gray, 28. The umpire Jack Nudie, number 58, 55. The down judge Charles Wade, numéro 184, number 184. Line judge Kyle Miller, numéro 6, number 6. Back judge Jeremy Corbella, numéro 34, number 34. Side judge Larry Leduc, number 99, numéro 99. Et field judge numéro 4, Julia Long, number 4. Prior to the playing of Old Canada, we'd like to acknowledge that this event is taking place on Treaty 6 land, home of the Cree, Blackfoot, Dene, Métis, and other proud Indigenous peoples whose presence continues to enrich our land and society. Avant d'entendre l'hymne national, nous désirons reconnaître que cet événement se déroule sur le territoire du Traité 6, domicile des peuples Cris, Pieds-Noirs, Dene, Métis et plusieurs autres peuples autochtones dont la présence continue d'enrichir notre pays et notre société. At this time, we'd ask you to please rise as we play our national anthem. Veuillez vous lever et retirer vos chapeaux et casquettes pour la présentation de notre hymne national.
Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome back to Foote Field as we wrap up day 2 of the 2023 Football Canada Cup. This is semifinal number 2, and it features the hosts, Alberta, taking on Quebec. And here at Foote Field on the University of Alberta's South Campus. This is a presentation of Sports Canada TV in partnership with IC Live. So glad you could join us. My name is Grayson Knutson. Pleased to be joined by high school football coach Chad Hill here in the booth. And this is one that we've been looking forward to all day, Chad. We've got the number 2 seeded Alberta squad against number 3 Quebec. They both put up some decent offensive numbers in that first game, and I think we'll see a little bit more a few more points scored than we saw in the first semifinal.
Right, yeah. On Sunday, I was really impressed with the offenses from both these teams. I thought both teams moved the ball exceptionally well, and they put points up on the board. So we haven't had a shootout yet in the 2023 Football Canada Cup tournament. Buckle your seatbelts, man, because we might get one tonight.
Quebec will kick off here. Alberta with 2 returners back. As getting ready to send this one downfield is Craig Hayden.
Left-footed kicker.
pretty good boot too, and it's going to be taken by Christian Thomas. Thomas to the middle of the field, gets over the 25, but not much further. And Alberta will begin from that point.
Yeah, Christian Thomas on the return. He impressed me a lot catching the ball in space in the quarterfinals. Real nifty, has some explosiveness to his game with the ball in his hands. So he's a dangerous return man as well. But good coverage by Quebec, and it's going to be a fairly long field here for Alberta to start the game.
Because this game features Quebec, if you're looking for commentary en français, you can find that also on YouTube. Just a different stream with a different commentator. So if you're looking for a French version, you can find one, as the handoff there is for number 23 of Alberta. That is, or sorry, was that 22 Metcalf?
Hard to see the number on there. 7 in at quarterback, though.
33,
right.
sorry, it was
Yeah,
Seth
there we
Polzer.
go.
There is no 23.
Yeah, and Polzer had a touchdown on Sunday at about 50 yards rushing.
Polzer will split out. Flung over the middle there, and it's caught, immediately tackled, and short of the first down. The throw from Cohen Wright to Phoenix Oliver.
Good contact there by Gaspeau to.
Did he just get the
gain.
first?
He
He did.
It to him. I thought we
Bit of a
might
generous
for a
spot.
measurement. Yeah, I guess they see forward progress, but he took a hit and held on to the ball. We see a lot of this from Alberta with this offense with Coach Jason Lafferty at the helm of the offensive control. A lot of short passing game, and I like that. Sort of extensions of the run.
Wright has Polzer as his running back. Receivers go in motion, and the handoff is to Polzer right up the middle. Healthy gain on first down, going to be about 5.
Yeah, they spread out the defense with a 4-by-1 look, so a quads look to the field, and then they just run it right up Main Street down the A-gap with Polzer.
There's a look. Polzer out of Holy Trinity in Okotoks. Second and 5.
Yeah, I was going to say again, playbook's open for the offense here.
3 to the near side of the field, 2 out wide. Polzer goes out wide as well. Wright's just going to take it down, needs a few more. There's a flag that's thrown at the end. And it looks like Wright did get about enough for a first, but of course that's flag dependent.
Yeah, usually in the area of holding in the offensive backfield, which is going to negate a first down by the looks of it.
That's exactly what it is, a hold against Alberta, so that'll make it 2nd and 15 now.
Yeah, Quebec, their front line is trying to penetrate into the backfield, but what that's actually doing is opening up some run lanes for Polzer here. So it's almost like some of these D linemen are so amped up early in the game here, a big meaningful game, that they're actually rushing upfield too hard on these rush downs.
Quebec defeated Manitoba in their quarterfinal. Alberta knocked off Nova Scotia. They were pushed too by the Blue Nosers as this one split out to Polzer, and he can't hold on. It'll be 3rd down here. Alberta's going to have to send out the punt team.
Yeah, I thought that ball fell just a little bit short. I do like the motion that Alberta was showing there with their slot backs. Saw number 12, Fairbank, and I think it was 13, Bishop, Denny, doing some motion. Again, it just makes the defense have to communicate, right? I think not enough offenses in the Canadian game take advantage of the pretty much unlimited motion that we are allowed in our game.
Ira Hozak out of Medicine Hat. Hat high is the punter. Back to receive this for Quebec.
Quebec looks like they're coming.
Looks like they are going to bring some pressure. Hozak gets it away. A nice punt here. Caught by 88. That's Augustine Lucier-Roy. And Lucier-Roy is only over the 50, so some decent coverage for Alberta, but Quebec is going to start in fairly good field position.
Yeah, starting at their own 51-yard line for the offense to take the field for the first time this evening. Good field position. Could have been more, but 21 had a nice tackle down the field of Bentley Francis from the Raymond Comets, the provincial champion Raymond Comets.
What a story that is. Raymond Just a small town, southern Alberta, but they play with the big boys. Quarterback for Quebec is Thomas Leroux. Leroux will hand this one off, and a big hole on first down, and still running around the edge is number 3. That's Leonard Lemay. Huge gain for Quebec on their first offensive play.
Okay, and this is concern for Alberta. If Quebec's going to be able to run the ball downhill, it's going to be a long, long night for Alberta.
Lemay from Quebec City picks up a big gain there. All of a sudden, Quebec is on the Alberta 38-yard line. This time they fake the handoff and quickly dish it out. This is someone to keep your eye on. Number 2, Antoine Goupil, 6'8", out of Boucherville.
Yeah, played one half of football in the quarterfinal. 5 catches, 113 yards, and 2 touchdowns. I just call him the Tower of Power. That's what he is out there, the Tower of Power, 6'8". So Alberta's going to have their hands full defending him.
Leroux slings it out a little bit too high that time. The intended receiver was Gabriel Enriquez Guzman.
Yeah, ball sailed on the quarterback a little bit there, an overthrow, and we really didn't see that from the Quebec quarterback. He was pretty much on the money in the quarterfinal, but we're going to see a little tighter coverage here from Alberta than what he saw in the quarterfinal.
That incompletion brings up third down, and it is going to be a 42-yard field goal attempt here for Hayden Craig from the North Shore Mustangs in Mercier, Quebec. The left footer. Again, 42 yards. Certainly has the distance, and it's right through the middle. Great kick there, and a late flag comes out, and I wonder if this is going against Alberta, some sort of misconduct penalty.
Yeah, I believe it will be. I see number 1 in the middle of it. Number 1's a fiery player there, Evan Lakatos from the Ernest Manning Griffins. He plays with passion, but I think he may have drawn a flag here.
All eyes on our official. Unnecessary roughness.
And Quebec is too good of a team to put yourself in a hole here. So after the field goal, they're going to move that ball 15 yards back from the line of scrimmage. And this Quebec defense is tough enough. Alberta doesn't need to be doing them any favors by taking undisciplined penalties. But how about that? A 42-yard field goal, like it's nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, and again, that's how you know you're watching an all-star showcase where the extraordinary is done seemingly in an ordinary fashion. 42 yards for high school kids. This is an 11th grader taking the ball 42 yards. Impressive. So now with the kickoff from Punt's territory.
I was going to say, he might have a chance to get another point here.
Yeah. You could easily put this one to the back of the end zone, or you could see if you could roll the dice on a short kick, perhaps, right?
Good spot for it.
Yeah. Ideal spot to go for a short kick.
Let's see here as, once again, Craig gets ready to kick this one off. And he is just going to try to boot it into the end zone. Thomas is there, and Thomas will just concede the single. So 4-0.
So basically an undisciplined moment gets caught, and Alberta gives up a point because of that. That was a 1-point penalty, essentially.
Sure, head coach Darcy Park will have a word with his fellas and say we need to be disciplined. We can't be taking silly penalties against a team this good.
And you want to play with passion. You want, especially the guys on defense, to play to the edge, but you can't go over the edge, especially in a game of this magnitude where you're playing to get into a championship against a very, very good team from Quebec.
Right once again. He will fake that handoff, dumps it over the top, and not able to hold on there was Pannenbecker. That's Adnes Pannenbecker, number 11 for Alberta.
Yeah, and I like some of that creativity. So it's, again, a quads look, a 4x1 receiver look to the field or to the wide side. But they run Bishop in motion there, the slot back. And if you're not familiar with Denny, number 13, he's a true speedster. So that tried to open up the crossing route then with number 11. But again, the ball just sailing on the quarterbacks. could be a case of the nerves early on with these young guys.
Right. Quickly out, got Polzer wide open. That's a great catch by Polzer. He had to make an adjustment, and he hauled it in up to just over the 50-yard line for a first down.
Yeah, that's a great catch by a running back. He's not even a receiver. He's a true running back, and he's lined up off the edge, and he gets up there for it. He's listed at 5'10", but man, he climbed the ladder to pull that one down.
Polzer lines up behind right again. 3 to the near side, 2 to the far side of the field here. And the handoff is for Polzer. Slips one tackle, but isn't going to get back to the line of scrimmage. It's going to be a loss of 1 here.
Yeah, a couple of big old Quebec D linemen in on that one, including Damien Gravel, 6'1", just over 250 pounds. And he had about, the running back had about 500 pounds of D-line on his back and around his legs there. Tough to break through that.
Second and long here for Alberta. Right with an empty backfield. Quickly plays it out. It's caught and held onto. Nice grab there by Bishop Adeni. It's going to be a yard short, so the yard they lost on first down has them a yard short here. And it's decision time for Darcy Park.
But Adeni climbs the ladder after this one. Good contact again. Like the coverage isn't bad. Number 6 there.
Anthony DiCaprio. Right under center here. He'll charge forward and get that one relatively easy. Good push from the front line for Alberta.
Yeah, that's a good-looking quarterback sneak. Offensive line gets a surge, and the quarterback follows tight in behind them. Easy pickup for the first down to move the chains.
Alberta, 1st and 10 from Quebec's 48, with under 5 to go here in the first quarter. And Wright's just going to take it down, a design draw play here, but he was surrounded by those baby blue unis.
Yeah, I've noticed a lot of quarterback draws in this tournament, an inordinate amount of quarterback draws in this tournament, and especially to be called on first down there is taking a bit of a risk getting your quarterback hit early on in the game. But I honestly thought we'd see a little bit more screen passes from the running backs in this tournament as opposed to all the quarterback draws. Alberta out in quads again, 4 receivers to the field.
Gain of 2 there. Quebec blitzing, throwing it up, and that one is going to be out of reach of everyone. They were looking for Polzer on the far side, but he'd stopped up, come back to the ball instead of keep going, which is what Wright was thinking he was going to do. Yeah, some miscommunication there. And I thought number 11 was flashing open, the big receiver. Pannenbecker.
Yeah, from Lacombe. I thought he flashed open. Whether or not he would have had enough for the first down, I'm not sure. But, all I know is he's 6'2", 190. You're asking a lot of a defensive back to tackle that guy in space. Hozak to punt, and once again, it's Lucier Waugh to receive. Low snap, and Hozak is in trouble. Trying to get it away, he can't. Ball is loose, and it's gathered in here by Quebec. Falling on it was Hubert Drouin. There is a flag down, though. It's going to be first down, Alberta. They're going to call a face mask against Quebec. Oof. And I want to look at the replay. 28 there, the head official, he had a great line. It happened right in front of him. He didn't hesitate. He threw the flag. I thought it was some incidental contact up around the head area. I'm not sure I saw a cage get pulled on the helmet. But in the Canadian game, punters get protected every bit as much as quarterbacks do. So the referees will always err on the side of caution to protect the punter. Tough break, though, for
That's
Quebec.
A massive penalty.
Tough break.
1st and 10 Alberta from the Quebec 31 now. And another lifeline on this drive for the hosts. Polzer takes the handoff, got some running room. Polzer gets a first down. He's inside the 15.
Huge run by Polzer off tackle. So I've noticed that with Alberta as well in the last game, the quarterfinal they played. They'll line up trips or quads to the field, but they will run actually off tackle to the short side or to the boundary. So we see some outside zone blocking, and they're just going to run off tackle, off number 77, Gavin Spears from the Holy Trinity Knights in Okotoks. That's Holy Trinity is just another juggernaut of a program, right? A true juggernaut at the Tier 2 level in Alberta. And I like that because you usually have a defense playing an over front, shifting a little bit to the strength. So if you have a left tackle or a short side tackle that's dominant, man, run it right off his rear end.
1st and 10 from the 13.
64 there, Austin Weeb at left guard as well from Stettler, getting the job done. They got a real good left tackle, left guard.
Handoff for Polzer. He's going to try the other side this time, and not as much joy for Polzer around on the right-hand side.
Yeah, 55 Gaston in there, and 54 as well, I believe, for Quebec.
Jeffrey Kabalambi from Mascouche.
So only a pickup of 1. Alberta might be wise to keep running left behind 64 and 77.
They can get a first down without scoring here. Right, looking to the end zone, throws it up, got a man, and it's just out of the reach there of Adeni.
Yeah, and
or
Bishop,
Denny, pardon me.
Yeah, Denny, and that's Bishop. He's fast. You know, he's a sprinter. He's fast. This again is just a smash concept. So a wide receiver is going to run a hitch or a little bang route, while the slot back runs that deep corner. So it's an either-or read for the quarterback. It's a quick read. He's throwing it up in space to that back pylon, but Cohen Wright just inches on the overthrow there.
Setting up for the field goal here is Phoenix Oliver. I'm a little surprised we're not seeing Ira Hozak here. I wonder if maybe on that punt if something had happened, or if maybe they just want to let Oliver take some field goal kicks here. He put it through either way, and it's 4-3.
Yeah, if that's your backup kicker, you're in pretty good business there. He hammered that one through without any issues, without any doubt.
We talk about these being all-stars. I'm sure there's probably more than one player on these teams who does handle kicking duties at their high school squad.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you probably have a handful of guys who, if push came to shove, could fill in at punter or kicker, for that matter. Long snapper, on the other hand, is a little bit tougher.
Right.
Not everyone's a long snapper.
That's a tough one.
Yeah, and we saw that on Sunday. There were some teams that struggled with the long snap.
So just over 2 minutes to go in this first quarter. Quebec leads 4-3. A field goal and a rouge for them, and a field goal for Alberta. LaRue, bit of a wobbler. It was up for grabs as it popped out of the hands there of Leonard Lemay. Falls incomplete, second down.
Yeah, Lamontagne, actually, the 235-pound receiver there. And, I think he just a little guilty of peeking upfield. And it goes right off his dome.
Now Jacob Lamontagne from Levis, Quebec.
But if you're Thomas LaRue, you wanna get that one a little bit lower out in front. Make it an easier catch.
LaRue chucks one up for grabs, and it's knocked away. Good defense there by Jaden Weiser, 42 for Alberta.
Yeah, Weiser. And I like this move. Donnie Obenauer, the defensive coordinator here for Alberta, he's a heck of a good coach, and he knows one thing Alberta needs to do to be successful is to slow down that tower of power, number 2. So what better way to do it? We'll say he's 6'8". Let's get our biggest DB and match him up, and that's what they did there with Weiser, who stands 6'4". By the way, Weiser's got a twin, Gavin, who's listed at 6'3". But he's out injured this game.
Right.
But couple of DBs with a lot of length there for Harry Ainley. I feel like Ainley's got a lot of those DBs that well over 6 feet tall.
Kicker that time was Jan Tremblay, a quarterback, or listed as one. Thomas will collect and get over the 40-yard line.
There's Everett Drodson out there for Alberta, number 17. Gets action on the special teams, and he's giving it hard there, mixing it up with number 30 in the baby blue, Loic Boivin.
So another drive set to begin for Cohen Wright and Alberta. He takes the field. They're on their own 42. Not too bad a field goal or field position.
And the Quebec defense did not have much time to rest either. I'd say look for Alberta to maybe gouge them in that run game again early on in the drive.
Again, 4 to the field side for Alberta in terms of receivers. Look out. That one was read and wrapped up immediately as the quarterback, number 54, Jeffrey Kobalambi, with a sack.
Yeah, Kobalambi plays this well, and I think maybe Alberta's just overthinking themselves. So it looks like the same formation, same look as that short side run, right? That outside zone to the weak side or the short side of the field. But they want a quarterback bootleg off that. Problem is, 54 is staying home. 54 is not biting on that. And really, if you're going to run a bootleg, you want to be darn sure that the D-end has taken the cheese, as they say, and bit into it. But 54 played that well.
2nd and 18 for Alberta. Could be the last play of this opening quarter. Right. Sends it long. He's got Adani. He's got it. First down and way more. Is he going to be caught? He is inside the 10. Huge gain for Bishop Adeni. Tackled eventually by Benjamin Carlisle.
Yeah, great job by Carlisle to actually track down Bishop from behind. That doesn't happen very often. But if you're Quebec, it's second and very, very long. You can't give up a big pass down the middle of the field. So credit to Alberta, quarterback and receiver coming up big when needed to get themselves into scoring range in the red zone. 1st and goal coming up to start the second quarter.
That is the end of the first. 4-3. Quebec is in front. We've seen some big plays. Haven't seen the touchdowns that maybe we were anticipating quite yet, as the defenses have bent but not broken.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of offense in terms of shifting real estate, moving up and down the field. We just haven't seen the finish yet. So if you're Alberta going into the second quarter here, you're saying we're coming away with a major right here. To be 1st and goal at the 9-yard line, they want to come away with a major and get that lead. I look again, run the ball here on 1st down. I love these runs to the short side of the field. I think it worked for them in the quarterfinal game. It's worked for them here early on. Just don't outthink yourself. The other thing at this area of the field, getting the ball out to a wide receiver on a hitch screen. Again, just a bit of an extension of the run game. So number 11, big boy out there.
Pannenbecker?
Pannenbecker, right? Lined up at that short side or X position on the wide receiver. You can get a pulling tackle out there in a little bit of space. That can be very effective down this area of the field as well.
So his 1st and goal from the 9 for Alberta to start this second quarter. Wright has Polzer behind him. And he's going to hand it off to Polzer. Trying to get around on the right side. He's still up. Polzer, push from the O-lineman as well. Did he get in? Waiting for a signal. I think he might be just a bit short.
Oh, I think they'll
down to the 1.
They'll put it down at the 1. But tremendous effort from Polzer to keep driving. He's got that low center of gravity, 5'10". He's only listed at 175, but he runs like he's more like 205 the way he runs. And we got a nice pull there from 51 and 77. And watch the way the big boys push the pile.
So here we go. Wright sneaking in. And he was pushed back. What a stop. Big time tackle by Kabalambi.
Huge stop. Kabalambi is flashing early on here. And hey, if you're the quarterback, don't veer off that far. 54 is going to knock your head off.
He just wrapped him up and drug him back with him. So here we go, 3rd and 1 from the goal. Whistle blows immediately. And I think we've got a false start, or the play maybe hadn't been whistled in yet.
Yeah, I think maybe there's a timeout being called. Waters run onto the field.
Yeah, timeout taken by Alberta actually here.
Yeah, so hey, we saw this in the other semifinal game. Do you have a little misdirection, like a bootleg or something here if you think they're crashing? But I would caution this though. Maybe don't run the bootleg at 54. He's looking pretty good right now. He's already had 2 big plays in the Alberta backfield, so maybe look to run it away. And if you're anticipating everybody crashing in the middle, I'm not a huge fan of it, but again, you could try that off tackle, outside zone stretch play. But with 1 yard to go, I mean, you've you've got an all-star set of Hoggies up front, I say trust in the big boys. Get behind big old 64 there. Austin Wiebe.
I think that's what Darcy Park was elaborating to his quarterback, right? So here we go. Big play. 3rd down and goal. Right. Dashes in. Touchdown, Alberta.
Alberta takes the lead, and I think that's exactly what he did. He got right behind number 64 on the left side of the line, that left guard, and has no problem getting into the end zone.
Take another look at it here. There it is, 64. Sealing that block. Austin Wiebe plays at Stettler, but he's from Daysland, Alberta, small community. So again, we've talked about it before. It doesn't matter if you're from a big city or a small town. If you're good enough, they'll find you. Another kick here for Oliver. Put it through. There is a flag, though.
Yeah, flag's down. Usually this is an offside call. Oftentimes the defense lines up inside that neutral zone. It's a yard in the CFL game or the Canadian game.
That's exactly what it was. So the kick will stand, and Alberta jumps in front 10-4 now.
So the big throw on 2nd and long from Cohen Wright to Bishop. Denny gets him to be 1st and goal, and Alberta not to be denied to start the 2nd quarter, taking a lead and momentum on their side right now. If you are Quebec, you cannot go 2-0 at this point. I would look for Quebec to get the ball to the big running back, number 3, Leonard Lemay. He had some success early on in that first drive, and I think they got to get the ball back into his hands.
So Oliver is going to kick this off again, and I wonder, Hozak standing on the sideline there, because on that punt, remember when he got tackled there, I wonder if maybe something happened. Phoenix Oliver, Henry Wisewood out of Calgary, kicks this one downfield, and it's taken there once again by Lucier Waugh. Decent return for number 88 as he gets to about the 33, and then a late flag comes out as well, and will Quebec get some more yards here?
Yeah, Evan Lakatos, he might find himself thrown out of the game here if this keeps up. Yeah, number 1 for Alberta. He, after the whistle, gave that extra shot up into the head and face area, and they always catch, the refs catch the person who retaliates.
Yep.
They rarely catch the first offender, but they will catch the retaliation, and I believe that's what happened, and he's got to have more discipline. Again, I like it. The kid plays with passion, which is great, but they're leaving him on the field here, and he's already taken 30 yards in penalties, so you got to put the team before the self here in a situation like this.
Defensive coach for Quebec speaking with his players. We saw earlier their head coach, Alex Surprenant. So Thomas Leroux ready to go again with another Quebec drive starting at their own 48. So good field position, and they do exactly what you suggested they should, Chad, as they hand it off to Leonard Lemay for a good gain on 1st down of about 5.
Yeah, and I think Quebec can have some success. And again, I'm not a rocket scientist up here saying that. I look at the size of the O-line for Quebec, and knowing full well that a starting nose tackle for Alberta is injured and not playing this game in Carson Hartman from Sherwood Park, plays for the Salisbury Sabres. So Alberta is a little bit leaner up front than what they had hoped for.
Quick hitter from Leroux, but it's a little bit too high for Adam Bateman. And it's an incomplete pass, and that'll bring up 3rd and 5.
Yeah, again, ball sails again. And we didn't really see this out of the Quebec quarterback from last game. But Thomas Leroux sails that one above the head of Bateman. And it's not like Bateman's a little guy. He's 5'11", decent height, but that one sails over his head. I'm a little surprised there. 2nd down and 5. I thought maybe you might see some play action or something, because the playbook's wide open at a 2nd and 5.
It's another punt here for Jan Tremblay. Chasing that one back is number 24, Ethan Granum. Granum, did he lose the football? He did. It's picked up. Quebec has a chance to score. Taken down inside the 5. Big time recovery, Gregoire Gaspo.
Huge recovery by Gaspo. And not only does he recover it, he's got the wherewithal to scoop that ball up and get those big legs churning, and he almost gets the pay dirt. Touchdown saving tackle by, I believe that was number 6, wasn't it?
Here's another look at it as Gaspo racing in, and yes, it is
Jamar
number
Link.
6, Jamar Link. He came in the fourth quarter. Again, that game against Nova Scotia really helped Alberta seal the deal with some fresh legs.
So how quickly the tides turn. Turnovers, man. Coaches preach turnovers, right? If you win the turnover battle, chances are you win the football game, especially when you have 2 evenly matched teams.
First and goal from the 3 for Leroux. Hands it off. Getting to the edge, and he's in. Touchdown, Quebec. Leonard Lemay.
Yeah, LeMay's a beast. He is a beast, and that's a good O-line. And I never like players trying to showcase themselves. But if I'm LeMay, I might turn to the coaches and give that eating motion with the spoon that they do sometimes. Say, feed me. Right? I think if Quebec's gonna pull this game off, it's gonna be on the back and with the legs of LeMay, their running back. Because I like what Alberta's done with number 2, right? With the tower of power, you put another giant on top of him and limit his impact in the game. But that opens it up for a running back to really take over.
Conversion from Hayden Craig upcoming. A line drive, and he did just get it high enough to get it over the bar. 11-10 the score.
So I noticed on Sunday with a left-footed kicker, and maybe I'm overthinking, but sometimes the trajectory, it just looks funny when a left-footed kicker kicks it. And he hit a couple wonky ones where it almost looked like he threw the ball like a spiral. Nonetheless, though, it all counts the same. It's 1 point. As long as it goes through those uprights, it doesn't matter if it was picturesque. It counts all the same.
They don't ask how, they just ask how many.
Right.
It's 11-10 Quebec.
Convert is a convert. But just watch this ball though when it comes off. And I know on Sunday the returners had some issues fielding the ball, and I don't know if that's more a case of the returners just struggling, or if that's a case of the trajectory of the ball coming out differently. Opposite, in fact.
Craig getting ready for the kickoff. North Shore Mustangs, Mercier, Quebec. This one an end over end one. Good boot all the way down to the goal line, and it's fumbled. That's a live ball. Picked up by Granum, and he's trying to get out of the end zone here. And Granum is going to be taken down inside the 5.
It's that left-footed kick. It's that left-footed kick.
He got some good distance on that thing, though.
He sure did. And Granum's a real good young man, and he's a heck of a ball player. He's fast. He's tough. Right now, just struggling. Someone's got to go give him a little talk and then give him some space. But I'm sure the coach will let him know they believe in him. He'll get another chance.
Granum out of Lloydminster, Holy Rosary Raiders, another star program in this Alberta province.
Don't bring those guys up.
Yeah,
to me.
sorry.
Yeah, we for the people out there, the team I coach, Sturgeon, we've met our demise the last 3 seasons in the North final of provincials to the Holy Rosary Raiders out of Lloyd. We say the Grim Reaper wears black and silver. That's what we say.
Vince Oreo built that program. Is Vince still there?
Yeah, he's still there.
Wow.
Great coach.
I worked in Lloydminster back in 07, and he was just kind of getting that program up and running. Handoff here. It's for Polzer, trying to follow his offensive line. He's going to get, 5 or 6 here, maybe 7 after he got rolled over.
Yeah, counterplay. That's nice little misdirection there. Some pulling linemen for a positive gain. And when you're pinned deep like that, hey, for first down, that's a solid play. Now you're looking at second and a long 4.
Second and manageable.
Yeah,
we'll call
exactly. And here, I think, from what I saw of Alberta on Sunday, don't be surprised if you see a little hitch screen to number 11 right here. The wide receiver to the short side of the field.
Right, scrambling around, dumps it off here. This is Fairbank. Lots of room for Fairbank, and he gets near the 30.
Alex Fairbank out of St. Albert, Paul Keene Blues High School. Sure, Coach Rob Strecker watching is all smiles. That's one of, and he's got a handful of receivers there that are big-time talent, and Fairbank's one of them. He's a good athlete too. I'm not sure if they list him at probably about 180, but he's rocked up. He's a solid 180.
5'10", 180. Nailed it. So Alberta, who started this drive on their own 5, have at least gotten themselves to their own 29 for the time being. Right. Empty backfield again. We'll go to the wide side. There's Pannenbecker, but I think he was trying to turn upfield before he had actually completed the catch.
You called it. He was definitely looking upfield to see how far he was going to run before he got caught, but you need the ball in your hands to run with it first. So again, it's a couple times tonight we've seen the receivers take a little peek upfield. All correctable mistakes with these. Sometimes we forget just because these guys look like men, they're still in fact high school players.
Second down now for Alberta. Right. Tosses it up, and coming back to the ball and making that catch is number 8, Phoenix Oliver.
Oh, I love the way Oliver came back to that ball. I thought for a split second there, I thought it might get intercepted, but Oliver worked his way back. Because number 6 was in pretty good, DiCaprio there. He was in pretty good position.
There it is again.
And they're giving him the first down. Yeah.
Forward progress.
Yeah.
So Alberta marching here. I think, as you mentioned in the last game, when you start inside your own 5 to get at least to the 40, that's a successful drive.
Yeah, it's a win. It's a win.
Right, under pressure. Just got to throw this one away. I think he dumps it off for Fairbank. And he's going to get, well, a handful, maybe a little bit more, close to 7 there for Fairbank.
Fairbank's strong. Like he's strong. Like he's a weight room guy, right? He's very strong. He can if you don't drive your legs as a tackler on him or take him down at the legs, like he will drag you. I know 180, it doesn't seem like it's huge compared to all these guys, but he's a very strong 180. And Bishop Adeni was running wide open again in the middle of the field. So if I'm Alberta, I'm going to go back to that here in a play or two because it's there to be had again.
Wright did really well just to keep the play alive. Now he gets a nice block and connects here with Oliver on the near sideline for another first down. Somebody picked up that blitz and gave the quarterback time to get the ball out.
Yeah, that is a good blitz pickup. Gives Cohen Wright time to release the ball. And I guess my little critique for Quebec would be if you're blitzing like that, you really want your corners playing that soft coverage when you know that Alberta loves those quick hitches with the wide receivers. You might want to tighten up that coverage. Like these there's a lot of cushion here they're given.
Here comes blitz again. The handoff is for Polzer, and he might have got back to the line of scrimmage. Might give him a yard.
Yeah, Quebec's just starting to pin their ears back and come downhill. 22 in on the tackle there. That's Gaspo again. He's had quite the first half. But again, like you see the cushion that number 1 Makambako is giving to the wide out there. You might want to tighten that up a little bit.
Here they come again. Quebec on the blitz. They got through. Wright rolling out, and he finds Oliver. Another first down. Wright doing a great job of avoiding pressure and finding open receivers.
Yeah, Cohen Wright, he's getting flushed out of the pocket. They're crashing right up the A gaps, but 77 does a great job giving him the edge and heads up play by the quarterback to scramble to his left and throw to his right. That is not easy. I'm very impressed with Cohen Wright. And
77 is Gavin Spears.
Yeah, how about the play of, again, that left side of the Alberta O-line looks really, really good, but that left side of the line, 64 and 77, that's a winning formula. 77 gives you an edge. Pretty much anytime you need it, he gives you an edge, and 64 just looks like a meat plow there. He's a body mover, number 64. Austin Weeb. 6 foot even and 295, so he's a very solid young man.
Gregoire Gaspo was down injured, and he left play as Alberta gets a new set of downs on the Quebec 35-yard line. Wright drops back, gets hit as he throws, and Pannenbecker not able to hang on to that one. All up in the kitchen of the quarterback was Tessike Gaston.
Oh, Tessike Gaston, he got a huge piece of the quarterback, and here's where Wright's going to show off his toughness. He gets pasted. He gets hit right up around that non-throwing shoulder, and he put the ball on the mark too. Like that's when you want your receiver to come down with. You paid the price, you took the hit, at least make the catch.
2nd and 10 now for Alberta. Quebec looks like they're coming again. Wright rolling to his right, throws on the run. It's up for grabs, and it's knocked away. Defending there was 21, Benjamin Carlisle, as the intended receiver was Fairbank.
Yeah, I thought Carlisle had pretty good coverage, but I like the idea. Quebec is blitzing hard up those A's and those B's with the linebackers, so why not roll your quarterback out? I like that idea, and he had the edge.
So it was a drive that started inside or at their own 5-yard line. Alberta managed to get to the Quebec 35, but this is where this thing stalls out.
Yeah, and other teams in this tournament can kick a field goal from here. I'm not sure Alberta can, so they're going to punt the ball.
Hozak is back out there, had to handle that high snap, looking for the corner here. It's going to drift into the end zone, and trying to run this thing out is Lucier Waugh, pardon me.
Yeah, Lucier Waugh gets a decent little return. I'm thinking his coaches gave him instructions to take the ball out and not concede the single. Quebec will have a long field ahead now, and again the last drive they did some positive things, but they need to sustain a drive because that defense has been on the field a long time. If they go 2-and-out here, that defense is going to be gassed. And you see the defense is being pulled in here for a little coaching session on the sidelines. They better hope they got time to coach them up. So offense has got to move the ball.
LaRue hands it off. Here's LeMay. He's going to get about 4 maybe here. They started on their own 20, and he's up about the 24.
Yeah, LeMay kind of picks his way ahead for a positive gain, but Alberta plays that one pretty good on first down.
Teams are issued the 3-minute warning here.
But now we'll see if Quebec will actually run the ball on 2nd and medium. So far we've seen the tendencies to run on first, throw on 2nd. If they are throwing on this down, I would love to see some play action.
LaRue. He will do play action, and he connects there with Goupil, and Goupil is up near the 45, the big 6'8" receiver out of Boucherville.
Yeah, the Tower of Power catching a quick slant there. He caught a couple of those on Sunday, but he'll mostly be remembered on Sunday for those deep routes on the fade. But he's shown he can mix it up. He's not just a tall guy that'll catch jump balls on the outside. He's not afraid to go across the middle. So I'm sure coaches at the university level will take note of that.
Big first down for Quebec. LaRue fakes a handoff again, dodges a tackle, he rolls out. He's got to do something here, and he's not going to get away from number 42, Weiser, once again with the tackle.
Yeah, Weiser's had himself a good game, but I'm kind of wondering why Goupil was blocking downfield and didn't turn into a route, because his quarterback escaped, and I thought LaRue was looking to throw the ball there, but had nobody to throw the ball to. So he takes a big loss. Big play by the Alberta defense.
It's a loss of 5, so it'll be 2nd and 15. Quebec coaches still signaling plays in here to LaRue. LaRue scrambling around, just tosses it up, finds LeMay down the sideline. He's tackled. It's going to depend on the spot here. And it looks like it's going to be at the 52, which will be 3 yards short of a first down.
Yeah, I thought LeMay got a little bit closer to the midfield stripe, but I'm not going to argue with the official on the side. That's number 6, Kyle Miller, one of the very best in the business, and he was right there, had a great eye view on that. Marked him well short.
This will be another punt here for Tremblay.
And just a little nitpicky point, but if LaRue doesn't float that ball in, if he actually guns that in there, you might have had a first down.
This one kicked in the direction of Thomas. Collects at about the 22-yard line. Tries to cut it sideways and will wind up getting not much of a gain at all.
Al Gaspo in there again. 6'1", 190 from Trois-Rivières. And he's made himself known here in this first half. Flying down on the teams. One guy we haven't seen for Quebec, you might see just a little change of pace. Their backup quarterback, Jan Tremblay, who also punts there, he had 9 carries, 101 yards, and a touchdown. He looked like the high school Canadian equivalent of Taysom Hill in the NFL. So I wouldn't be surprised just to change the pace up on the offense if we see him getting a couple of snaps, and he moves the ball with his legs exceptionally well.
Something for Alberta to be aware of, too, when he's punting, especially on a third and short situation, as Alberta has the ball once again. Right, had a crossing route. Now we'll try to go deeper. It was well underthrown, and the only player in the vicinity was Anthony DiCaprio out of Laval.
Yeah, and it's like Quebec knew that was coming, but they still didn't communicate that exchange very well. I thought 21 and 6 there, the DBs, they wanted to communicate that, right?
Carlisle and DiCaprio.
Yeah, but they were a little bit slow, and you can't give Bishop a step. Like, there was actually a little bit of separation. Bishop Adeni was behind the Quebec defense. He's taking the top off, and that's what he can do. He's got the speed.
2nd and 10, Alberta. Right, going long again, floats it up. That one's going to be picked off easily and run out of bounds here by Thierry-Andrew Jeté.
Well, that's a little much for me, the celebration after when he could have tried to run to the end zone. He looked like he was a little afraid that number 11 was going to catch him and drive him through the turf. But these DBs DBs celebrate. That's what they do. Got a man down.
There is a Quebec player down. I believe it's one of the linesmen. What if it's the 96, Damien Gravel?
Yeah, I believe so. Looked like a big body down in the interior there.
So he's getting some attention right now. As we look at the man who picked that one off, Jeté.
Yeah, and underthrown ball, I'm not sure. That's a big throw to the field corner, and Denny was, he's a speedster, so it's easy to underthrow a guy with that type of speed running that route to the field. That's a big time throw you're asking from your quarterback, and he underthrew it.
So the teams have like a little celebration momentum. We see some chains, that type of thing. It's a Quebec flag that they wrap around as a cape. Jeté is living it up down here on the sideline, that's for sure.
Good for him. He's got a pick in a huge game, but I would have liked to have seen him try to score with that one, not take the quickest route out of bounds when he smelled number 11, Pannebecker, right behind him. I mean, if you're going to celebrate like that, at least try to score. That's just me.
Up and walking here, which is a good sign, is Gravel. He's out of Quebec City.
Big old 61 coming in the game. Beljourno, who's listed as an
6'3", 299 from Terrebonne.
See, I got a kick out of this on Sunday, too. A lot of the weights end in 99. They don't want to round it up.
Sure.
3 bills.
Yeah.
It's a big guy.
So, opportunity here for Quebec to score before the half. Minute 14 left. They hand it off to LeMay. Big hole for LeMay, and he's got a first down.
Yeah, he's a hard runner. He's fast, he's big. 56 holding on for dear life there.
Cyril Atemenkang out of Calgary, All Saints.
That All Saints Legends team is a program to watch too. They're a real up-and-coming program, making waves in the Calgary area and provincially speaking now.
Clock continuing to run down here. 1st and 10 from the 24 for Quebec. LaRue gets a block from LeMay and finds Goupil. And Goupil is going to be awfully close to a first down if he doesn't have it.
So I do like, obviously 6'8" is going to catch every coach's attention, but you want to see, okay, what can Goupil do at 6'8"? Is he one of those guys that just passes the eyeball test and runs a fade route, or what can he do? So it's really nice to see him coming inside and catching slants and a bit of traffic, because at the next level, you're going to ask him to do more than just catch fades, and I'm sure he's got dozens of coaches ready to recruit him.
They did give the first down to Quebec. Fake the handoff to LeMay. LaRue rolling out. He's got a man open, asking for the ball, and unable to make the catch is Hubert Drouin. And a flag on the play, holding against Quebec. So that's going to drive them back a little ways.
Yeah, holding against Quebec is going to bring this one back. And, wow, I thought that 43, Riley Easton had some real tight coverage. I like not seeing the flag in that. I think we've seen a pass interference for less than that. But I'm quite happy when the referees let the DBs and the receivers play. But no doubt there was some contact there from 43.
Easton, Red Deer, Hunting Hills High School. So 1st and 20 now for Quebec. 28 seconds left in the quarter. Handoff is to LeMay. Couple of little changes of pace, but just ran right into the teeth of that defense. Did manage to pick up about 5.
Yeah, LeMay, he's got some explosiveness, but he's patient, right? He's a patient runner. I'm having flashbacks to 5-6 years ago when Le'Veon Bell was the toast of the town, right? The way he was patient, letting his blocks set up, and then he'd exploit that the run lanes there. And like LeMay's big, 6'1", nearly 190. That's a big running back.
This almost seems like Quebec was trying to run the ball to the middle of the field and take a late timeout before going for a field goal here, instead of trying something on 2nd and 15.
Well, I'm just surprised that they're going to kick a field goal on 2nd down. Well, I thought, honestly, you could have called the timeout earlier and called in your play and taken your shot. And I mean, you got a guy who's 6'8". You take your shot to the end zone, and they got a lot of playmakers. And then if you don't get it, you kick the field goal. To me, it just seems like they're playing this one too safe, too conservatively. They basically just took it down away from themselves.
So 5 seconds left in the half. 2nd and 15. Ball's on the 19-yard line here. Man who made the big pick on the last series, Jeté, he was the one running water out this time for his teammates.
Team player. Maybe that's part of the duty when they give you the little right?
The cape, yeah.
Yeah, and he's not a big kid either. He's 5'8", 130.
These kids are having a good time though, aren't they?
Yeah, love to see that. And that's pretty awesome at 130 pounds competing at the highest level in the nation. Good for him.
And now Alberta is going to take a timeout here because it looks like Quebec wanted to run an offensive play. They didn't have the field goal unit out.
Well, now they put
8 seconds on the clock,
right? So
now you can take a shot.
So we're getting confirmation there's 8 seconds on the clock, not 5. So at 8 seconds, yeah, you can take your shot, but there's no room to mess around with 8 seconds though. If you're not throwing the ball to the end zone, then you better get down. There's no time to be a hero and think you're going to break a tackle to get into the end zone. Just get down. The ball looks to be on the 18-yard line.
19 is what it says
line.
Officially.
Yeah.
Somewhere in between there, I think. So if you were to kick a field goal from here, looking at about 26 yards.
Yeah, very, very makeable field goal. So I almost wondered with Quebec having obviously the tower of power there, Goupil. I almost wondered do you go quads and ISO him up? You got a tall, lanky number 42 there going up against him, Weiser, right? So you might see a nice matchup with that. See, now we've got number 2 to the field side, but number 1, Lakatos, he's
6'4" as well.
Big in personality and big in height.
So here we go.
He's going to him.
Throwing it right to him, looking for Goupil. Nice ball! Caught! Touchdown, Quebec! What a catch by Antoine Goupil!
Great play call. Good idea. And I'm telling you right now, too, this official, I don't think he's going to call pass interference, because that was pass interference as well. So not only did Goupil come down with it, but that was pass interference. And I'm shocked the flag didn't come out. We don't normally see the flag sewn to the pocket like this on pass interference. The defender's hands are all over him, pushing him, but Goupil still comes down with it.
What a catch that was when he's doing the too short celebration there. That was, well,
is that what you call that one?
Well, before he did that, he did the too short.
Yeah, I get it, right?
And I'm like, well, everybody's shorter than you are, buddy.
Because 6'4" is really short. Yeah, I get you.
I'm not even sure there's 6 feet of combined height between the two of us
No,
here
there's
in the
not
booth.
up here. Maybe that's why I take exception to that celebration. Refs, give him a flag for taunting. Give him one. Give him one.
2 seconds left in the half, and Alberta has increased their lead to 18-10.
But what does that say when the DB is 6'4", right? He gets taunted for being too short? I mean, come on. I guarantee you that for Lakatos, that's never happened to him before. It'll never happen to him again. Ever. 6'4", too short. Come on. Come on.
So it'll be a kickoff here for Quebec, and this will essentially end the half. An opportunity for one of these Alberta returners to maybe make a massive play and change momentum back in their favor. Thomas is back, as well as Adeniyi.
You just squib this one?
I think so.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to put the ball in Bishop's hands, or, number 4 has been dangerous too, Thomas.
That's exactly what they do. It will come to Thomas, though.
Too deep.
Thomas going to the wide side. There might be something here. He's going to need a couple of blocks, though. And he's eventually dragged down by Jacob Lamontagne. And that's going to do it for the first half. Pretty entertaining between Quebec and Alberta, as we had anticipated. 18-10. Quebec is in the lead. Just your thoughts on the half overall, Chad?
Well, I thought a really entertaining half of football. And, at the end of the first quarter, we said, well, okay, we haven't seen the touchdowns, but we feel like they're about to happen. Yeah. And sure enough, second quarter, we see some major scores. And I think the second half, we're going to see some more majors put on the board. If I'm Quebec, I'm looking to keep establishing that run game with number 3. Because he is a beast in the backfield, right? So I look to soften up that defense with LeMay. If you're Quebec, you don't want to be going a bunch of 2 and outs, but mix up LeMay with a little bit of play action, and you're never going to forget about Goupil. He is obviously, we talked in the Saskatchewan game about Gladstone on defense. I think Goupil on offense. These are the 2 guys we look at that sky's the limit. We might be seeing them as professionals one day. And then if you're Alberta, man, you're moving the football. Don't overthink yourself. If you're Alberta, take what's given to you. Maybe asking your quarterback to throw a field corner to the fastest guy on the field. Maybe just take what's given to you. And a lot of that with this cushion, hey, never a bad idea to get the ball to 11 and 8. Big targets on little hitches. They could take 5 into 10, 12 for a first down. Move those sticks. Going
to be a very entertaining second half. Hopefully you'll stick around for it. Quebec 18, Alberta 10 here in the second semifinal of the 2023 Football Canada Cup. From here in Edmonton, it's a presentation of Sports Canada TV in partnership with IC Live. We'll be back in just a few minutes.
Voici les statistiques pour la première demi de ce match. Here are the statistics for the first half of play. First downs, premier jeu, Quebec 6, Alberta 11. Rushing yards, Verge au sol, 51 pour Québec, 51 pour Quebec, 48 pour l'Alberta, 48 pour Alberta. Passing yards, Verge par la passe, 64 pour le Québec, 64 pour Québec, 162 pour Alberta, 162 pour l'Alberta. Verge offensif, total offense, 110 yards for Quebec, 202 yards for Alberta, 110 verges pour le Québec, 202 pour l'Alberta. Pass, 5 réussis sur 9 essais pour le Québec, 5 of 9 for Quebec passes and completions, 9 for 18 for Alberta, 9 sur 18 pour l'Alberta. Pénalité pour le Québec, Quebec penalties, 3 for 30 yards, 3 pour 30 verges. Alberta penalties, 3 for 40 yards, 3 pour 40 verges. Football Canada would like to thank its sponsors and suppliers who helped make this event a reality. Province of Alberta, City of Edmonton, Edmonton Events, University of Alberta, Lister Center, Nova Hotels, Edmonton Elks, NFL Canada, Fifth Avenue Homes, Crystal Glass, Jostens, and Quality Mobile DJ Services. Football Alberta aimerait remercier les commanditaires qui ont aidé à rendre cet événement une réalité. La province de l'Alberta, la ville d'Edmonton. Événement Edmonton. L'Université d'Alberta, Centre Lister. Les hôtels Nova. Edmonton Elks. NFL Canada. Fifth Avenue Homes. Crystal Glass. Jostens. Et Quality Mobile DJ Services.
Trust his scheme will be good, right? Let's start the game with a punch. Start the game with a punch. Hey, 1, 2, 3, 4. Here go, fellas. Get it. Bring it to the house. Set the tone, baby. Set the fucking tone, baby.
Back inside Foote Field here, getting ready for the second half between Alberta and Quebec. Quebec is up 18-10 as we begin quarter number 3, and they will get the football as well. This is the 2023 Football Canada Cup. Second semifinal winner will move on to face the defending champions from Saskatchewan in Saturday's gold medal game. The loser will take on Ontario for bronze. This is a presentation of Sports Canada TV in partnership with IC Live. My name is Grayson Knutson, Chad Hill in the booth with me as well. And here's an opportunity for Lucier Waugh. He got up over the 40-yard line, and Quebec will start in decent field position.
I think that was Sam Metcalf with the shoestring tackle there, because I thought the lane was there, and that could have been a big return if not for Metcalf, who's had a few tackles in this first half. All-star linebacker out of the juggernaut Harry in the Titans program. But Quebec has good field position to start the game, and I would look, the time of possession is very skewed in favor of Alberta in that first half. If I was Quebec, I'd probably look to establish this ground game again with number 3.
And they hand it right to LeMay, right up the middle. And if not for that tackle at the end there, I think that was a Temenkang. He might still be running.
Yeah, he's heading towards the goalpost right now. So second and short, but I think this is what Quebec needs to do. And here comes the high school equivalent of Taysom Hill coming in here, number 12 for Quebec. Look for him to get under center for a sneak.
Yann Tremblay out of Shannon, Quebec.
I think he averaged about 12 yards a carry on QB sneaks.
He's going to go around the edge. Flags fly. Still Tremblay going forward. Picked up almost 10 yards there. I would imagine the flags are for offside on the defense, probably lining up in the neutral zone.
And look at Lamontagne. That's a huge receiver, just taking his man to the ground there. He's 6'1", 235. Quebec's got some size on their roster.
Let's wait for the call from our referee here. Looks like Quebec's going to decline the offside, and that's exactly what it was. And so let the run from Tremblay stand, a first down for Quebec as they move into Alberta territory here.
They could literally get into short yardage on every first down and get 4 to 10 yards a pop. And I mean, I'm being facetious when I say that, but legitimately, if you didn't watch the Sunday game, Tremblay is averaging about 10 yards a carry.
Leroux takes the snap, hands it off to LeMay. He bounces off a couple. Still LeMay going, and he gets another first down for Quebec up near the 40. Leonard LeMay.
Okay, I thought an Alberta defender. It might have been number 9, Owen McNeil, who's a heck of a DB linebacker hybrid from Bev Facey. I thought he had a real shot to make the play at the line of scrimmage, but this is what happens when you got a big, strong runner like LeMay. There's some smaller DBs that sort of second guess themselves and hesitate a little bit before that moment of truth on impact.
Leroux has 4 to the field side, 1 to the boundary side, fakes the handoff and getting hands on it, picked off! It was deflected there by a Temin Kang, and making the catch was number 97, Jaden Trevon Gale Edwards out of Calgary, Crescent Heights Cowboys.
Wow, the Cowboy comes up huge because Quebec was just marching the ball, just pounding it. And again, I like the idea of a play action because you've been softening them up in the run game. But nice penetration by Alberta. Fingertips on the football, and then 97 makes an athletic play as he's getting blocked. Trevon Gale Edwards, 6'5", 255. Big turnover for Alberta.
Stalls that Quebec drive when it looked like they were going to put points on the board. Fake the handoff, and they'll give it. Oh, they should have given it right back. That one in and out of the hands of Olivier Sarazan, and he can't believe it.
And now we're going to see a pass interference call, I think. It looked like the Quebec defender might have got his hand around the intended receiver. Yeah, he was there a little bit early. Number 6.
That's DiCaprio again. He's been around the ball a lot.
Yeah, he's been busy, and I thought he just reached over top of Bishop a little bit early, and they're calling that one. But and again, it's officiating is a very, very tough job. I think they got that one right. I was a little surprised there weren't a couple other flags in the first half for pass interference, but I normally like to see the officials let them play. But I think that one was pretty obvious.
There weren't a ton of flags at all in that first half. Fairly clean game, and now Polzer, he's lost the football, and it's picked up by Quebec. I think that's Vincenzo Iskander, number 59, who found the loose ball.
Or 99.
Oh, 99, pardon me. That's Emile Paradis.
Wow, Paradis, opportunistic, pounces on that ball. Did they grease up that pigskin? What's going on here in the second half?
Getting that one out was 56, Rayan Payep Temamin.
Just athletes all over the field, and that's what impresses me at showcases like this, where you see the size of some of these linemen, but they are athletic. They are moving laterally. They're sprinting. They're getting on loose balls.
Leroux hands it off to LeMay. Flag is thrown as LeMay gets over the 40-yard line. We'll wait and see what the flag is for. It would be a gain of about 8, maybe.
This flag came out pretty much right at the exchange. Yeah. Quarterback exchange with the running back. So they might have got 69 with a hold.
No flag.
No flag.
They're going to pick it up.
Yeah. Oh, and maybe the official thought there was an illegal formation, a no end perhaps. He had the itchy trigger finger on that one and threw it, but. And Quebec will run a tight end formation at times, so perhaps he thought it was a no end.
It's about 2nd and a yard and a half. Here's Tremblay under center. He fumbled it. Tremblay, and he's dropped it again. Who's going to get this loose ball? It's number 43 for Alberta, Riley Easton. Doesn't seem like any team wants it right now. They're giving it back and forth.
Wow, and this is why you play the game. Momentum shifts back and forth, and this is what gives coaches gray hairs and ulcers, but just lack of execution here with some of the basic stuff that you don't expect in an all-star game. And look at that ball. Are we sure they didn't grease those things up at halftime?
They must have.
My goodness. Unexpected turnovers.
So now it's Alberta in possession at their own 47. Cohen Wright fakes the hand off to Polzer. Hands on it, and it was almost picked off again. Payab Tememin was in the neighborhood after DiCaprio again.
Yeah, DiCaprio's
hands on it.
busy. He's a busy boy. Now, Alberta ran, and I'm a big fan of this play where they'll run Fairbank over on that little hide route, I call it, right, where he's coming under the formation on the play action. So Quebec's probably scouted this pretty well. And if you're the quarterback, right, you can't throw right into a defender's hands. You've got to do a little half roll or karaoke step around to give yourself a window to throw in.
Right on second down. Has Pannenbecker over the middle. Can he get the first? No, it's a good open field tackle there on the far side. That's number 7, Johan Saint-Martin.
Oh, Saint-Martin, that's a huge tackle, and that brings up a punting situation for Alberta. If Saint-Martin doesn't bring that big receiver down, he easily moves the sticks. And believe it or not, that is actually the first catch for big number 11, Pannenbecker. He has a tackle in the first half, didn't have a catch, which would be a little bit surprising.
Saint-Martin from Saint-Jean-sur-Richelieu. And it's going to be a punt here for Hozak out of Medicine Hat. And it was partially blocked. This one bouncing around, and it's picked up. And when it comes to the 45, the flag is down, I believe, for no yards, but 56, Payab Tememin again has been involved lately for Quebec defensively.
I mean, right now, if you're to say, hey, who's the players of the game, it's a long list. It's not even a short list at this point. It's a long list. Everybody's one-upping each other in this category, but this is an entertaining football game. 18-10. We've seen momentum shifts and sudden, abrupt shifts, turnovers, some great individual efforts. So, for semifinals, we sure have a treat today because the first semifinal game was incredibly fun, and this is living up to the expectations.
LaRue to LeMay. LeMay, patient runner. He'll get 5, maybe 6 here. Alberta and Quebec player got tangled up there and give each other a little pat on the back. My bad, just got our legs tangled, and as Quebec will now scrimmage at 2nd and 5.
So number 4, Lamontagne, the big receiver slash, I could put this guy at offensive tackle. He's putting guys on roller skates. He's pancaking them. In the run game, like number 4 may not pop on the offensive stats. He's getting the job done in the run game with his blocking.
Coming to help out again here, protects his quarterback. LaRue rolling out, flag on the play. Temenkang is down. This would be close to a first, but I'm wondering if this is going to be brought back, and it looks like
I believe so.
Cyril and Temenkang is in a little bit of difficulty here.
Yeah, he's clutching his upper body on the arm. Not sure if it was big number 3. Oh, he just sort of jammed it looks like.
Yeah. The elbow, perhaps, or the shoulder.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to play doctor, but that's just what it looks like. And let's see what the referee has flagged here. It is a hold against Quebec, so we'll take it back 10 yards. They'll be 2nd and 15 now.
I always find it interesting when the flags fly for holding. They seem to happen at the most inopportune time for offenses, because that would have been 3rd and inches, and with obviously with big number 12 in their Tremblay, it's almost an automatic, almost a given. But now we're looking at 2nd and close to 15 yards as opposed to 3rd and inches. So that was a huge holding call. And again, just when you thought Quebec was starting to assert themselves on offense, get the run game going, a penalty like that takes them off schedule.
Haven't even played half a quarter here in the second half, and it has been an absolute roller coaster back and forth. And now it's going to be 2nd and 15.
Yeah, by the time you pour yourself a beverage or hit the fridge, we might have had 2 turnovers by then.
4 receivers to the near side here, the boundary. The field as it's heaved up from LaRue. Got a man, and it's caught. He is going to walk in untouched. Adam Bateman, touchdown Quebec.
I think that's the first time they've called Bateman's number today, and he comes up big. And I thought that ball might have been slightly underthrown, and 43 was closing ground in a hurry. And Easton's, he's lanky and rangy too. He's a 6 foot tall defender, but the ball just got there, and that's a huge touchdown for Quebec. Huge. 2nd and 15 again. You got to know the situation. 2nd and 15. We saw this happen earlier too. When Quebec gave up a 2nd and 15 play over the top to Bishop. If it's 2nd and 15, if you're a defensive back, don't get beat over the top. You can't. Keep everything in front of you. That'll drive coaches nuts. I'm sure Coach Obenauer is seeing red at that one.
Hayden Craig makes it a 15-point game, and now the sense of urgency for Alberta has to ramp up. There's still lots of time, obviously, with 6:21 left in the third, but all of a sudden it's a 2-score game.
So if you're Alberta, there has to be urgency, but don't get reckless. Don't try to do stuff on offense that's out of your comfort zone. You can stick to the game plans. What you cannot do is take, I don't want to call them stupid penalties, don't take selfish penalties. Do not take selfish penalties, and you can't turn the ball over, plain and simple. One more turnover for Alberta, and that could be the end of them. So if you're Alberta, play disciplined, play smart, and don't turn the ball over.
You can't get it all back at once. There's no 15-point play in football, as they're getting ready to kick off once again with Craig. Thomas and Granum are the returners for Alberta.
So again, football's a vicious game. If I'm the kickoff team, I'm looking to kick it to Granum. He's had a couple of difficulties fielding the ball cleanly.
Mike with the left-footed kicker. It's easier to come to Thomas's side. He takes it. Blocks are set up. Thomas, he just couldn't get through that last hole. Tackled there by Benjamin Desrousseaux.
Yeah, Desrousseaux and Thomas is limping. I held my breath a little bit right there. Anytime that weight comes backwards, dropping at the hips and pulling the ball carrier backwards, that's like essentially the same sort of impact that a horse collar tackle has. Even though this is not an illegal tackle, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it takes the same sort of toll on the ball carrier, and that's why you see Thomas limping off there. That's a bit of a scary tackle.
So Alberta scrimmages from their own 27. Right, fakes a handoff, quickly guns it out. It was behind his receiver. What a catch! How did he hold on to that? Ben Gutek out of Holy Trinity in Okotoks.
Wow, Gutek stretches out, all 6'1" of them, stretches out behind him on that play action, quick slant on the backside RPO. That's on the receiver. That's a heck of a catch.
I think that's the first time we've called Gutek's name. He didn't have a catch in the first half. Big one here as it gets Alberta into 2nd and 2. Wright wants to throw it again, and it's picked off. Read by DiCaprio, and I think he stepped out of bounds.
He did. Luckily for Alberta, DiCaprio's foot stepped on the white stripe. Otherwise, that's a pick 6. So I'm honestly not sure what Cohen Wright is seeing or not seeing here, because he looked phenomenal on Sunday. He had a great game. He's had a couple of throws. I'm sure he wishes he could have back here. So this is a bit of a floater, a little bit late coming out to the flats. And that could have been worse for Alberta. They still got a shot here with their defense on the field, try to limit Quebec to a field goal attempt. But now the pressure's mounting for the Alberta D.
Handoff for LeMay, trying to get through the middle there. He drags a couple of men with him, and they're going to get right around the 25-yard line. Give it the 27, I think.
And I know it's not flashy, but it's effective. Run LeMay. Run number 3. If you're Quebec and you want to get to a gold medal game, run LeMay. It's 2nd and 3, 2nd and 4. Don't be a cutie pie and try to throw the ball. Just pound it. Pound it with LeMay. Good things are happening when that guy has the ball.
That's exactly what they do. They go back to LeMay. This time it's tough sledding, though. Still trying to drive those legs forward. He did get over the 25, but not much further. A spot's going to be interesting here.
Close.
I think they're going to give it to him.
I mean, the short yardage team's pretty impressive for Quebec anyway, so
And
but
they
he
did.
moves the sticks. And how about 64, their big Benjamin Renfrey Rasset? And my French is awful, I apologize for that, but the big boy 64 moving the bodies, getting involved. Love to see that effort from the O-line.
And again, we will say that if you're just joining us, you're looking for French commentary, we do offer that as well. So it is available as LeMay takes another handoff, and why not? Bouncing around on that left side, gang tackled by Alberta. Looked like it was
McNeil leading the
McNeil
charge.
again,
Yeah, and that's
Well, that
not a
facey
fun
helmet.
evening. Yeah, not a fun evening for McNeil having to tackle that ball carrier. But kudos to him for getting in there, driving the legs, and holding on. And again, we'll give more credit to that Quebec O-line as well on that left side. Axel Painvin, number 69, rooting out the defensive line. And I think it's 59 over there as well. Vincendo
Iskander.
yeah. And he's long, 6'6", listed at 244. And again, that 6'6", prototype young offensive tackle. I mean, he's only 244 right now. So if people are used to watching the pro game and they're tuned into this,
right,
they're saying, well, isn't 244 too light for an offensive limeman? No, the kid's in high school.
Yeah.
244
He's
is
still
a great
17.
size.
Yeah.
17 years old, right? 244. 5 years from now, when he's draft eligible, he's probably got an extra 50-plus pounds on him at that point, right? But that's just a phenomenal size for an offensive lineman at this age.
So 2nd and 6 for Quebec here as they threaten again. New running back there is number 28, taken down by McNeil in the backfield. It was DeRousseau who took the handoff.
Yeah, a real good tackle by McNeil. And a little bit different tackling 28 as opposed to 3. And I know on Sunday we discussed, well, does 3 ever get tired? I mean, he had 19 carries, right? Does LeMay get tired? And well, maybe he does. And obviously it's an all-star showcase. All these running backs are tremendously talented, right? So get another guy a touch, but yeah, you see, I don't think LeMay's been tackled in the backfield yet.
I don't think so either, and it's going to be a field goal attempt here of 25 yards for Hayden Craig, a lefty.
Alberta looks overloaded here.
This one is up, and it is through. Hayden Craig adds 3 more to Quebec's total, makes it 28-10. So now all of a sudden, we've got ourselves a 3-possession game.
How come the ball boys have no problem catching the left-footed kick? Hey, they're back there. They're catching it no problem. Suit these guys up as kick returners.
Quebec stretching their lead in this third quarter.
Take that back. Look at the lack of speed on the ball boys' part there.
Shout out to everybody who's helping out, whether they're officiating or moving the chains, ball boys, everybody who's been a part of this Football Canada Cup.
Isn't it tremendous to see all these volunteers making this tournament happen?
These events don't happen without volunteers, as this one is run forward there. That is dominant Ben Scoder out of Harry Ainley. He's from Spruce Grove, but goes to high school here in Edmonton, and we have a flag on the play as well.
Is that 51 whose helmet popped off for Alberta?
Looks like he's trying to get it organized again. He was running off, but he's got it back on his head. Let's wait for the...
Yeah, he's getting into it. I see that helmet riding high. Couldn't see it on the replay there, but normally if that helmet comes off, you got to go off for a play. So it's pretty sneaky for a guy who's 6 foot 270. He's doing his. Yeah, now they're sending him off. You got to keep that helmet on. And we've seen this throughout the tournament with one of the quarterbacks, in fact, on one of the other teams, on Nova Scotia actually, his helmet popped off several times. Say, hey, get a trainer, equipment manager over there, put some air in that lid, tighten up that chin strap, or downsize the lid. But if the helmet comes off, you miss a play, and you got to stop on the play. It's a penalty. Right. It's a penalty if you keep going. Illegal participation. 2nd
and 13 now for Alberta. Wright has to roll out. He is in trouble here, and he gets hit hard. Number 90, Jaden Arenas-Michel out of Vaudreuil-sur-Lac.
Okay, and I would love to celebrate a huge play there by 90, but unfortunately, Cohen Wright is down, and he looks like he's in a lot of pain. He's not getting up. He's sort of clutching at the knee, but again, I hate to speculate on anything, but the trainer's there working on the lower body. And Cohen Wright, like I said, I thought Sunday he had as good a game as any quarterback in this tournament. He's had some adversity here tonight, but I mean, the young man's a warrior. He's a trooper. He takes big hits. He's shown his toughness. He's shown his ability to make the big plays. So we certainly hope we see him get up and walk this one off. He took a nasty lick there by Arenas.
Cohen Wright, Ernest Manning Griffins in Calgary. There's a look at the tackler. That's Jaden Arenas-Michel, again, Vaudreuil-sur-Lac.
Yeah, and he's another tall, lanky defender, 6'4", 236-pound listed. I mean, I just can't believe the size and the length of some of these high school guys.
His club team, Dalbe Vieux Aigle d'Or. Last check, I think Aigle d'Or means Golden Eagles. As getting some help off here is Wright.
Yeah, we never want to see a player get injured at any point, let alone in the summertime in an all-star showcase. Certainly hope he'll be okay, and it's not as serious as it first looked.
Not a lot of weight on that
left
leg, though, as Hozak is back to punt again, and there's a boot. Might get a fortuitous bounce, and he does. Chases Lucier Waugh back. Lucier Waugh running sideways here, and he just goes down.
Yeah, I've made a business decision right there.
Yep.
Yeah, couple of defenders had him right in the crosshairs, and one thing I will say though, and these are all stars. I'm blown away by the talent, but I've seen this a couple times in the tournament when the punt goes over the returner's head. It's almost like that little panic switch goes off on them,
right?
And they just panic to pick up the ball. It's not a kickoff. It's not a live ball.
No.
You got to give 5 yards. Get around behind the ball, look upfield, see where your blocking is taking place, and maybe you can draw a no yards penalty. Make the best of a bad situation by not fielding the punt, right? Don't ever panic, and don't ever pick up the ball with your rear end turned towards the oncoming traffic on the coverage teams. Unless you have eyes on your backside, do not do that.
See on the sideline there on the Alberta side, just observing, Merrick Philippek has his helmet on. Saw him a little bit against Nova Scotia. He's warming up.
He's a good quarterback, no doubt about it. He is a good quarterback, but you don't like to see him have to go in because of an injury.
No. LeMay, he got hit in the backfield, but dragging people forward. He is going to get a couple of yards here. Man, it takes a whole squad to just bring him down.
That's 3 big boys in the front 7 there, just hanging off of LeMay. I think he got back to the line. Maybe give him he's right around that line of scrimmage. Well, okay, no, now they're saying he maybe lost the 6 inches or so.
Worked really hard just to get back to the line of scrimmage. Among the tacklers was Phoenix Fay, St. Joseph Celtics, and Grand Prairie.
It's another juggernaut of a program.
Somebody moved on the line there. I think it was going to be procedure here. 66 for Quebec is Sedina Fall.
Yeah, he's a good-looking offensive lineman as well. 6'5", 261. But if your helmet is bright yellow, you better not flinch. You better not jump. That's too easy to see. That's why the teams I coach all have black helmets.
It has nothing to do with the school colors. It's just this is what I want.
Black helmets. It's you got a bright helmet like that, you're a magnet for the officials.
So now 2nd and 15 for Quebec. Long downfield. They're looking for Gubil, and he pushed his man. That has to be offensive pass interference, you would think, as he just decided to give Braden Chamberlain out of Cochrane a shove.
Now, the only thing I can think of, if it's not an OPI, is feet got tangled and an inadvertent pass interference. But to me, it looked pretty much like the Tower of Power pushed off on the defender.
Trying to sell it a little bit too.
Yeah, well, maybe they are calling they're calling the OPI. Yeah. So, hey, love to see this response from the Alberta defense. Their starting quarterback goes down with what looks like a significant injury. I would not expect him back in this ball game. So this could be a moment late in the third where you're down by 18 and the chins start to go down, and you see a little bit of hangdog stuff going on. But the defense answers the bell, and they get up off the turf and they answer Quebec, forcing a punting situation. And Alberta should get the ball in good field position here.
Tremblay will do the punting once again for Quebec. Granum is one of the returners. He's on the near side of this field here. Tremblay. This one a high hanging punt. Caught there. And not much room for number 10, Liam Pisinen.
Yeah,
Harry Ainley.
I've had a couple of people tell me how to pronounce that young man's name. Pisinen. I've heard Pachinen. Yeah. Either way, another excellent young ball player in the Harry Ainley program, and that's hard to field when the ball has so much hang time on it, and the oncoming special teamers are closing in on you. And good tackle there by number 1 too on Quebec there, Mambuko.
It's a pretty high sky here tonight, too. Look at this. Cohen Wright is under center. Threw that one a little bit short to his intended target, Gutek, but I kind of can't believe that he's back out there.
I'm shocked. Like, I'm actually shocked. So obviously he's a tough, gutsy young man, but I just thought they might err on the side of caution. At least for a series. See how he feels on the sideline, but hey, it's like the Undertaker. He just keeps coming back, man.
Third quarter has come to an end. Quebec scored 10 points. Alberta scored 0, so it's 28-10. That third quarter had everything. Turnovers aplenty, big-time plays on both offense and defense. And for Alberta, they've got to find a way now to get the offense rolling, and their defense is likely going to have to make a couple of big plays, likely in the form of turnovers here.
And now in the fourth quarter, you've got to think when you're up around midfield, you might find yourself in 3-down territory. And being in 3-down territory might change some of your play calling. So if you find yourself in 2nd and 10, you may not try to get it all in one shot if you think that you're going to go for it on 3rd down. You might try to take a strike that's going to get you that 5 to 8 yards, knowing full well you're going to roll the dice and gamble on 3rd down.
Philippek has run onto the field. He's out of Red Deer, another Hunting Hills Lightning product.
So obviously Wright didn't feel quite right going in, and I don't mean to make a pun there, I'm not making light of it, but obviously he felt some discomfort and something wasn't quite the way it should be.
Philippek goes long with his first pass, and Adeni was kind of searching for it, didn't know which shoulder he should look over, and it will fall incomplete for 3rd down.
Yeah, that's a big throw. Like there's not a lot of high school quarterbacks that can throw that field corner, and if you're coming in, I know you're supposed to warm up over there on the sidelines, but for your first throw, that's a big ask. Like that's a really big ask to throw that field corner, especially to Bishop. Like I'm telling you, I think Bishop's the fastest guy on the Alberta team. If he's not, he's right up there. He's one of the very fastest.
Hozak, another punt for Alberta. Lucier Waugh once again to return for Quebec. Hozak, end over end here. Lucier Waugh fields it cleanly at about his own 25. At the 35 now, and he gets taken down. Tackle made by Evan Lakatos.
Yeah, Lakatos, good tackle, and 24 there coming in to secure the edge. Granham's just one of those all-around players that Holy Rosary has in their program, and he was injured and missed a lot of the season. There's a couple of really good running backs that were injured for Holy Rosary, Granham being one of them. So nice to see him get his shot out here to get some more football in before his senior year.
Thomas Leroux leading the Quebec offense once again as they scrimmage from their own 36-yard line. Leroux hands it off to LeMay, and why wouldn't you at this point? Gives a little stiff arm, cuts it upfield, and he's going to be close to a first down, maybe a yard shy.
Yeah, he's smooth. He's a smooth runner. He just sort of picks his way. He looks like a next-level running back, without question.
One more look at it here.
McNeil's in pretty good position.
Fights him off. McNeil, though, give him credit, didn't give up helping to gang tackle at the end. And then there's the push forward. It's a mad scramble underneath of there. Looks like it should be a first down here for Quebec.
That's going to hurt his average, though. That's,
plunge forward there from Tremblay.
Yeah. Come on, Tremblay. Get 5 on those. Hurts the average. So at this point, if you're Quebec, you're looking to milk the clock. Time is against Alberta. It's on the side of Quebec. If they can ground and pound, sort of gut things out, make it some ugly smash mouth football here, and keep the clock rolling.
Another handoff for LeMay. Right up the middle again. Now he cuts it out to the right side and eventually taken down. But guess what? Another first down, and we've got late flags, 3 of them.
And I couldn't see from our vantage point. Now one's in there. Again, he's already had 2. That's Lakatos in there. I sure hope it's not on that young man. When I say ground and pound, make it ugly, smash mouth football, I'm telling you with LeMay, there's nothing ugly about it. That's a good-looking runner.
Look at that little cut right there.
What a cut. Man.
Well, Quebec is going back. Looks like unnecessary roughness on Quebec here.
Lakatos might be having some nightmares tonight about the baby blue uniforms. It's going to be a first down.
Didn't catch who that was on. But yes, it is still a first down, but Quebec is basically where they started this last play from.
And LeMay's off now. LeMay comes to the sideline, helmet off, catching a breather.
DeRousseau is in. And he will take the handoff. Flag flies almost immediately. And DeRousseau gets taken down there by number 22, Sam Metcalf.
Yeah, Metcalf has sort of quietly, discreetly had a really productive day. Excellent tackler. Again, he hasn't been flashy at this tournament, but he sure has been effective.
It's like the referee is speaking with the Alberta side, so would suggest that it's on Quebec. Offside on Quebec. I wonder if a receiver had maybe
I
jumped.
believe so. Yeah, early start from a receiver.
So first and 15, pardon me, from the 43.
And you know what? All this is fine if you're Quebec. Don't change your strategy. You can still pound it with a run on first down. You have a good average. The thing Quebec has to do is just avoid the turnover.
DeRousseau still the running back. They're going to throw it. Leroux. Well, now he pulls it down. Leroux, he's tackled, by Jason Young. Foothills Falcons out of Okotoks.
First time we've called Young's name this evening, and that's a real nice tackle. So that's a pretty athletic quarterback, and he's got a lot of room, a lot of space. Love the way 50 gets his nose to the football, tracks him down, makes a big tackle. Good job for Jason Young getting a chance to get in there and make some plays.
2nd and 10 for Quebec. 2 receivers to the boundary, 3 out wide here. Leroux tosses it right over the middle, and that's Lamontagne. And he's got a first down and plenty more in over the 40-yard line, down around the 37.
Yeah, I like this Lamontagne as well. I think I said on Sunday who he reminds me of for all the Canadian football fans is Nick Lewis.
Oh, that's a good show.
Yeah, long time CFL slot back, often went by the moniker Thick Nick. Just a real big slot back that was devastating blocking in the run game, and could make plays with the ball in his hands. And that's what Lamontagne reminds me of.
So fresh set of downs here for Quebec. On the Alberta 37, LeMay back in the backfield. He takes the handoff, busts through the middle once again. And he is got another good gain here.
Yeah, I think Enriquez Usman there maybe got in his way a little bit. The big receiver, 84, trying to block. LeMay ran into him.
9 yards here for LeMay.
How about 61, though? Zachary Belgiorno on the block there. Again, 299. Don't call him 300. He's another good young lineman.
So this is, once again, Tremblay. Remember last time it didn't go so well. This time he will get the first. There's a flag. Again, you would assume that it's on the defense.
Yeah, I would assume they lined up in the neutral zone. And Bentley Francis, who's again not a little guy. He's no pencil neck. He's 6 foot 180, but he takes the brunt of it from the big short yardage quarterback. And here's where you see Quebec just wearing down the Alberta defense. And again, like old school, I want to say it's smash mouth football, running it. But the whole scheme, and when you got LeMay at running back, it's not really smash mouth old school. It's just simply get big guys on big guys, move them backwards, get a crease, and let this gifted running back do his thing.
Quebec eating up a lot of clock here. 7 minutes and counting left in the fourth. LaRue lets it run down a couple seconds before handing off to LeMay. Gets around on this left-hand side, and a good tackle there by Lakatos to drag him down.
Hey, great tackle by Lakatos. I know it's been a tough evening for number one. He's had some tough assignments, but that's a real nice tackle in open space.
Good little cutback. Lakatos just holding on for dear life there and wrestles him down. 2nd and 5.
Quebec definitely in field goal range again, though. Looks like offside here.
There are flags. LaRue keeps, and he gets taken down.
Look at Lamontagne blocking again on that edge. I'm telling you, he blocks like an offensive tackle. He gets his hands on defenders, and they cannot get him off.
Wait and see what the flag is for. Offside against Alberta.
I'm sure Quebec will accept the penalty.
Be a first down.
Like Lamontagne, 6'1", 235. That is, if we were in the olden days of the eye back and stuff, that's your fullback.
Right,
you know?
yeah.
That's your fullback. But in today's day and age, especially with this scheme, you know, that's your big slot back. They bring him in here now as a tight end for some alignments. But wow, what an impressive player.
Handoff for LeMay. He's got a hole, makes a nice move. LeMay, is he in? No, he's short by a yard.
Really? Again, we're not at a good vantage point for that goal line whatsoever. I thought he had hit pay dirt.
He was close. We'll have a good look here.
61 and 66. Right guard, right tackle.
Belgiorno and Fall.
Great tackle, or great block by 61.
Like a little shoestring there. McNeil was involved, so was 28. That's Chamberlain again.
An Alberta player. Is that McNeil who's down? It's tough to see. Thought it could be number 9.
A couple of players or people got in the way now. It's a long ways down to that end of the field from where we're set up.
But yeah, Owen McNeil, 5'10", 195, stocky linebacker, DB hybrid, and he's picking himself up off the turf. He's again, he's going to need an ice bath tonight. He's been involved a lot, especially in this second half. And again, I think some of these boys from Alberta might be having some nightmares about this baby blue.
It's a grueling event. You play 3 games in the span of 8 days. Not even, it's 7 days, isn't it?
And the heat.
And the heat, I was just about to say, and it's the middle of summer.
Yeah.
And touchdown, Quebec, as they punch it in. Flagger down, I would imagine, again, probably a neutral zone infraction of some sort on Alberta, but we will wait for confirmation.
If you're not cheating, you're not trying. Down at that goal line. Pretty easy.
Quebec is celebrating. And so it is another touchdown for Team Quebec. And that might just be the one that salts this thing away. A little Jan Tremblay plunge.
Look how happy those big boys are, though, right? The Quebec Hoggies coming off on those 1-yard plunges. Those are the happiest guys in the world. I mean, you got
Iskander, Painvin, Refrain, Rosette, Belgiorno, and Fall.
Yeah, right. And I think was number 60 in there. That Prudhomme.
Oh, perhaps that's Kevin Prudhomme.
Yeah, I think I saw him in there celebrating. Gotta love those big bodies doing their jumping jacks and celebrating on the way off. Those boys are excited. Convert good.
That makes it 35-10. I don't know if I expected either one of these teams to really kind of run away with the game like this, but give full credit to Quebec. They have been very, very good on both sides of the ball.
They have been. They've been great, and like no excuses. You know, Alberta is down 2 starters, one in the secondary and one in the interior of the defensive line, which doesn't do them any favors. That being said, with how Quebec has asserted their will and their dominance here, I'm not sure those 2 players are enough to cover a 25-point spread. You know, I think they maybe could have held in a little bit longer, and maybe number 3 there, LeMay, isn't shredding quite as much. But you got to give credit to Team Quebec. They look good, and I'm telling you, we are in for a heck of a gold medal game.
Yeah.
Saskatchewan's going to have their hands full with Quebec. I mean, and not to say this game's over, but Quebec certainly in command.
Taken here by Piscinin. Again, and nowhere to go. Even on special teams, it's the guy who just scored the touchdown, Jan Tremblay.
Like, they list him as a quarterback, but he's just an athlete. I mean, there's a guy who looks like a tight end or a D end. I'm sure he could play some H-back for them. But he's dangerous with the ball in his hand as well. And, you know, he punts the football, he gets down the field in the coverage. That's just the guy you want to have on your team.
Noticing on the Quebec sideline here, something to watch for on their next series. Warming up is number 16, Elliot Drapeau. He'd been wearing the bib, relaying plays in, and now wearing that bib is LaRue.
Low throw here.
Low throw, and it's a dead play. Philippek.
He's lucky that wasn't a lateral. That looked dangerously close to being a live ball. And if you're Alberta, you want to go out, play these last 5 minutes as hard as you possibly can. Take some positives into the locker room. Have some positives that you can look at on film late in the game and be ready to play on the weekend for bronze.
Philippek takes the snap, gets it out quickly. Pannenbecker, he made a nice catch, did he?
I think he caught it. 90 got his hands on it. That's.
I think they said no catch.
Oh, no catch. Arenas got his mitts on that ball. But I thought Pannenbecker, great concentration to
more look.
Come up with this.
No, it definitely is out.
Yeah. Replay was great footage. Great footage there.
Yeah.
Easy to see on the replay.
Huge shout out to all of our crew here at Foote Field. We kind of parachuted in for these last couple of games. They've been here all day, so some long hours. But you know what? Talk to every one of them. They are enjoying the heck out of this event.
This is an awesome annual event that Football Canada puts on.
Hozak, high punt. Lucier Waugh takes it. There's a flag down. Lucier Waugh will just get out of bounds.
They are going to get Mambuko on the hold or the illegal block, I believe. I thought it was a pretty good block, but the defender just turned his body, and that's when the flag came out. So that was a bit of a tough one.
Referee's just chatting here. 4:18 left to go in this game.
I think that was veteran official Larry Leduc who threw that flag, and I've disagreed with Mr. Leduc in the past. I am not disagreeing with him now.
Couple of penalties on Quebec there. One was a hold.
So if you're Quebec, this is a great time to empty out that bench. Give some touches of the ball to some guys who haven't had an opportunity at this point, and just as importantly, keep your starters, the guys that you need to win a championship, healthy.
So an illegal substitution
that's
against
an
Quebec.
First, yeah.
So here, that's why the Alberta offense has trotted back onto the field here.
And it might be because they're trying to get guys off the bench and into the game. That happens at this stage of the game sometimes.
So Philippek under center once again. Quick hitter to Pannenbecker, immediately wrapped up. And now everybody's just got into a scrum here. All over him initially was Tadrak Mambuko from Lachine.
Great play by Mambuko, and he's one who, I mean, it didn't matter anyways, his illegal block, but I thought that was a tough call, so way to answer back and make a big play in the backfield, and Pannenbecker's a big guy, man. I mean, good job from Mambuko to close the space down there and make actually a tackle for a loss.
Adnes Pannenbecker out of Blackfalds, was to high school in Lacombe, plays for the Rams.
You never like to see passes go for negative yards.
Philippek lets it fly, looking for Fairbank. It's a little bit too far.
Yeah, I don't know if Fairbank was trying to, and now he's getting it into with 21. Alex, not the time to get into it, young man. Get back to your sidelines. He's getting into it with
Carlisle. And there is a flag that came out late, and I wonder if that's what that's all about, which would give Alberta another first down.
Fairbank came back at him, John at him, and Carlisle jawed back and pointed to the scoreboard. And again, the officials are usually going to call the retaliation, and it's pretty obvious when a player is pointing at the scoreboard, and that'll get flagged very often.
Objectionable conduct on Quebec.
But if I'm on the Alberta sideline, I'm saying, boys, just play the game. There's no point talking now. I mean, the game at this point is all but decided. Just play the game the right way.
And it looks like some of the Quebec coaching staff too is going, we need to stay out of this as well. As we've got whistles immediately. Timeout was taken by Quebec. So I apologize, it wasn't a first down because it brought them to third and 1.
Inches, yeah. And now I think good for the Quebec coaching staff, pulling their guys in, letting them know how they do things, right? It's not going to become, we've seen a couple of games become chippy in the late going, and if you're Quebec, you got a gold medal game to get ready for. So you want to make sure you're playing disciplined football, and you can't afford to get somebody kicked out and not being able to play in that gold medal game. Wouldn't that be rotten? You travel across the country and to be undisciplined and not be able to play in a gold medal game. So I love the fact that all the players are in right now. All the coaches are in there. Good on Quebec for pulling the guys in.
It was head coach
the right way.
Alex Supranol, who was in the middle of that huddle, leading the discussion. Well, I say discussion. It wasn't much of a discussion. He was talking. Everyone else was listening.
That's a one-sided discussion, right? A little come-to-Jesus meeting there, and rightfully so. Good for Quebec. End this game the right way.
So 3rd and 1. Philippek comes right up under center, and he will surge forward, and that's a first down pretty easily. Although Quebec now pointing, suggesting maybe the ball came out. Of course, that happens a lot in these scrums.
It does. And we can't see none of that mass of humanity in there.
Philippek clearly still has it.
Oh, yeah. And, great surge by that Alberta offensive line. They picked about 4 yards right there.
Alberta's line, the listed starters were Nicholas Oliveira Forster, Elliot Beveridge, Tristan Ahern, Sebastian Lee, and Austin Wiebe.
I'm a little surprised we didn't see more Ben Scoter at running back. I know he had a really good game on Sunday.
Saw 4 different running backs for Alberta. This was one of them. This is Link, Jamar Link. He did good work in that fourth quarter against Nova Scotia to really help milk the clock and put it away, and now he's got a good gain here.
Don't sleep on Jamar Link. I love that little outside zone stretch play there to the short side. I think that's been Alberta's most consistent play today. The outside zone stretch to the boundary.
Eventually tracked down by Jaden Arenas-Michel. There's a throw and a catch. Adeniyi pulls it in on the far sideline.
That's a good throw. Good pitch, good catch. Throw right along the sidelines on that corner route. Nice in-rhythm play for Alberta. And again, if you're Alberta, end on a positive note. Get a scoring drive here. Have something positive to end the game on and get ready to play a bronze medal game.
Say it's the toughest one to get up for.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, somebody out of that game wins the medal and somebody else gets nothing.
And you know, Ontario looked quite demoralized when they lost that heartbreaker to Saskatchewan.
They thought they had a shot, and they certainly did. There's a throw. It's kind of in between Pannenbecker and Adeniyi from Philippek that time.
Yeah, errant throw by Philippek there. He sort of split the difference between the two targets out there.
If this result holds, and I'm starting to get more comfortable in saying that it will, I am super intrigued to see what that very, very good Saskatchewan front group does against the likes of LeMay.
Yeah.
I think that's fascinating.
That is fascinating because that Saskatchewan front, I'm going to say, it looks the best in the tournament, but no doubt this Quebec run game is on a whole other level.
Adeniyi, he didn't turn around quite in time. Philippek put it in a pretty decent spot.
Yeah, Bishop's got to get his head around there. He didn't make a real hard cut. It looks like it's a corner route, but he's just got to get his head around. I mean, that pretty much grazed his face mask, so it's definitely a catchable ball. Ideally, you like that ball out in front of you a little bit, but Bishop's limping here too, and that's not good when your deep threat, your speedster's on the limp. That's not good for Alberta.
Offense staying out here on 3rd and 10, obviously. Philippek looking to throw it again. Pannenbecker's got it inside the 10. Wrestled to the ground, but it will be an Alberta first down.
And that looks pretty easy because of the size of Pannenbecker. It's almost like he boxes out the defensive back, and I like the way he stretches his hands out and attacks that ball coming into him. They made it look easy right there, and I was hoping to see a little bit more of that from Alberta.
Pannenbecker 6'2", matched up with Mambuko there, 6 feet, and that's a turnover once again. If it wasn't over before, it probably is now. 33 for Quebec is Cedric Bouchard.
Yeah, Bouchard, good job. Sometimes these DBs don't make the highlight reel catches. He looks like maybe he plays receiver for his high school. Who knows? But this is a real nice catch. This is a little RPO, so a little run pass option. Quarterback elects to pull this out and throw it. And it's always a little bit tough going from left to right with a right-handed quarterback. So he's opening his mesh point left, and now he has to get his hips around, and really that safety's out of his line of vision at that point. So not only is he out of your line of vision, but you've also got to get your hips and your shoulders back squared around. So I even remember a few years ago watching the Hamilton Ticats, and their quarterback threw 3 interceptions in one half from that exact play.
So again, the Quebec bench is a little bit empty now. The quarterback in is Elliot Drapeau from Quebec City. Handed off there to Benjamin Desrousseaux.
Yeah.
Gets a couple of yards.
And I'm sure they're just going to try to take the clock down, take as much of that 20 seconds off the clock as possible. We talked a lot about the Quebec offense. How about the Quebec defense, though? Because this Alberta offense was ticking on Sunday. Like, they were humming along on Sunday. They put up big yards. And really, they've moved the ball pretty well, but the Quebec defense is bent. They have not broken very often.
Made the big play when they need to. The left-handed throwing quarterback will just pitch it out to Desrousseaux. He gets up near the 25-yard line, short of a first down.
Yeah, a little unorthodox there, and maybe at this point, really want to see that type of risk taken for a play that has such minimal percentage of working, but the effort's there. Punt situation now.
3rd and 6 is what it is officially.
So Alberta's going to get the ball back one last time to try to end with their offense scoring, to head into the locker room on a positive note.
Remember, it was 10-4 in that second quarter. It has been all Quebec since then, 31 unanswered points. Tremblay gives it a boot. Granum settles in underneath of it. Tracked back a little bit. Nothing but baby blue jerseys in front of him. And he gets taken down shy of the 50.
Yeah, Granum, good job on Granum to field that punt. That's a lot of hang time. But yeah, there was not a lot of blocking and not a lot of room out front. It's a wall of baby blue coming at him.
Alberta kind of selled out to try to get a block or a piece of that kick. Kind of leaves the returner on an island.
If anybody thought baby blue's not tough, they need to watch Quebec play. Because these unis look sharp, right?
They're so nice.
Looking uniforms.
And these ones, the Ontario ones, are really good.
Yeah.
Philippek hands it off here to Link. He gets blown up. Link, though, able to get a few yards.
Is that Carlisle 21?
It was.
Like a heat-sinking missile coming in.
Another look at it here. There he is.
You gotta love about amateur sport. It doesn't matter what point of the game it is, what the score is.
Yep.
These guys are, almost all of them are gonna play full out. Every single play.
Quick hitter, Fairbank, first down. Tackle there by DiCaprio.
Move the sticks, and I like that, just some of that short passing game. Get going in rhythm. If Alberta is going to have Philippek play, and I'm just speculating here, but if Philippek is going to have to play in that bronze medal game, you want him feeling comfortable. You want him executing some of these rhythm throws here late in the game. Get on the same page with the receivers.
Tasike Gaston has taken a knee.
So I guess we're at that point where, do we make any bold predictions about players of the game, offense and defense?
Yeah, we got time after 2 to speculate. So, but yeah, I don't envy the people who have to make those decisions today.
Oh.
There's no clear-cut choice.
There's a lot of smart guys back there making those decisions.
That's true.
And clearly, they don't like the kickers, from what I hear. Right?
Oh.
The first game 9-8, and the kicker didn't. 3 field goals, kicker didn't get it.
Philippek, that one's picked off. He threw it right into the hands of Boivin. Loic Boivin, is this going to be a pick 6? It sure looks like it. Boivin rubs a little salt in the wound, and Quebec is going to the gold medal game.
To the house. Number 30, Boivin. And this is what I mean. If you're Alberta, you want to do sort of the I don't want to call it easy stuff, but the routine plays. You want some of your routine plays, your bread and butter concepts. You want to run those, knowing that Philippek will be comfortable. And this is what you did not want to happen if you're Alberta. And what an exclamation point Quebec puts on this semi-final game. Just kicking it to the home team here.
Loic Boivin. He's out of Quebec City. Convert here, coming up from Hayden Craig. And that'll be another point, 42-10.
That's another sort of weird trajectory on that ball, sort of upright. Didn't go end over end the way you normally see kicks do that, but again, it doesn't matter how beauty's in the eye of the beholder, and a point is a point. So
they'll give the cape there to Boivin.
He's wearing the fleur-de-lis proud.
The Quebec team is fun.
And you see when they take the field, like they take the field, and it looks like a band of brothers out there. They got the flag, they're loud and proud, and I'm telling you that could be intimidating for a lot of teams, because when they take the field, they are a presence, and Oh, man, it's going to be a heck of a battle.
It's a very proud football province that, at this level anyway, has yet to see, or not has yet to see, but hasn't seen success in terms of a gold medal in quite some time.
Yeah.
So I think that's frustrating, and it's a little bit of a chip on these guys' shoulders.
Well, and Quebec, used to be known as the hotbed of football. And people such as myself, I often state that Saskatchewan is the hotbed of football now. So Quebec is out to prove people wrong, myself included, I'm sure, and others who are giving a lot of heaping the praise onto the prairies in Saskatchewan. Quebec is saying, don't forget about us.
I think both things can be true for sure.
Yeah, it's really impressive, the amount of players that come out of Quebec, and of course Saskatchewan for the population. Like let's give credit where credit's due. We're going to see a gold medal match for the two teams that I think are the most deserving. I think they're the two best teams here, and that's no slight to Ontario. They gave Saskatchewan everything they could handle today, but I think we got the two teams going to the finals that are very deserving.
Philippek fakes it, gives it to Pannenbecker. Pannenbecker will get near the 50. Obviously, when you talk about Quebec football, you would be remiss if you didn't talk about what a powerhouse that Laval Rouge et Or program is in U Sports.
Yeah.
Seems like they're in the Vanier Cup almost every single season.
Yeah. And Montreal is a very, very good
the Carabin,
well.
Yeah. Philippek, again, a quick hitter, getting hands to it, was number 90, Jaden Arenas-Michel. He's been good on the edge for Quebec.
Yeah, has he ever. 6'4", just another one of those tall, long defensive linemen across the board there for Quebec. And that might be an advantage they have going into the gold medal game. Saskatchewan's quarterback has been amazing, Casey, but he's only 5'11", right? So, is there a guy under 6'4" on this whole defensive front here for Quebec?
Doesn't seem like it. Philippek zipped one. He was looking there for Pisinin.
Yeah, he kind of darted that one again, turfed it a little bit. He's trying to get that ball out of his hands real fast. And again, his lower body, the mechanics weren't quite where they needed to be, and you see that ball do a nosedive.
So it is a third down here for Alberta. Only 10 seconds left.
See if they take a shot to Fairbank in the slot.
It's another quick hitter. And it's Pisinin again. He'll be short of the first down here with only 7 seconds left to go.
That'll be a turnover.
And Quebec will just be able to kneel this thing out. 38 straight points from Quebec. I don't think anybody saw that coming.
No, that's a strong finish. That is a very, very strong finish from Quebec. And sort of sends a message to the defending champs. They are going to be in for a real battle here if they want to defend their crown.
Just getting ready to take a knee here is Drapeau. This will run the clock down to 0. He's going to have to do it one more time to make things officially official.
Yeah, it's not like the American game where the clock's hit 0 and it's over.
Yeah.
You gotta snap the ball. A lot of people forget that.
This in our 10 fans. Just know we have the
I like
best
that sometimes you get some chaos as zeros.
That's right.
Don't have to this time because the gap is 32. Quebec all over Alberta, 42-10, the final score here. And the team from Quebec will face Saskatchewan for gold on Saturday night under the lights at Commonwealth Stadium.
Yeah, a decisive victory here in the early evening in Edmonton. The home province team going down to this upstart Quebec team who comes in and plays with a lot of passion.
Two teams will line up. We'll get to players of the game after we do some handshakes, of course.
I think for Quebec offensively, that's fairly obvious for number 3, LeMay, the running back.
Right.
6'1", 187. I think that's probably the one easy pick of the lot, but I think everything else is likely up for grabs. For Alberta, I'm offensively, I'd be inclined to go with Bishop Adeniyi. He was a threat, had the longest reception.
Two teams shaking hands. So Again, Quebec will be in the gold medal game. That's a 7 o'clock local time start on Saturday, 9 o'clock Eastern if you're watching from Quebec. Alberta will play for bronze. That'll be 4 o'clock Mountain Time on Saturday. And again, we played the first 2 days here at Foote, and the final day, I think this is really cool to play it at Commonwealth Stadium. I know that when you play there, it can be a little empty. It can be a little cavernous at times, but it's still a CFL field with a CFL look to it, and it's going to be fantastic for these young men to have that opportunity to play on that field.
Oh, I agree with you 100%. Had the fortune of having my team play there a few times in the past few years, and it's special for these young guys. You know, I know sometimes old coaches get a little curmudgeon-y about playing, but you know what? It's fun for these kids, and that's what counts, right? Is creating memories for these young men that have put so much work into getting where they are. Win, lose for all the young men that have represented their schools, their cities, towns, families, and most of all themselves at this. Congratulations to all of them, and it's just fitting it gets to end at Commonwealth.
Presentation's about to begin here shortly.
Defensively for Alberta, I'm going to go out on a limb and say 22 Sam Metcalf.
Okay.
Again, wasn't flashy, but he was effective.
So before we get to it, let's quickly run through the entirety of Saturday. 7th place game, BC Manitoba, 10 o'clock Mountain Time. 5th place, New Brunswick, Nova Scotia. I don't think anybody anticipated that matchup for 5th. That's going to be very interesting with Atlantic Canada.
All the way across the country, too.
At a 1 o'clock, so that'll be a 4 o'clock Atlantic Time start. And then, of course, the bronze game at 4, and then the gold medal game, Saskatchewan, Quebec, at 7.
Number 97,
Jaden Gale Edwards, the defensive player of the game.
Yeah, strong game on that.
Crescent Heights Cowboys, Calgary. I know it's a tough moment right now, but I love to get the big smile in the picture, because that picture is going to last forever.
That's true.
So I know your disappointment is right now, but at least have a smile for the photo. Seth Polzer, the offensive player of the game. That's a pretty good shout, too. Had some decent carries in the first half. Holy Trinity Knights out of Okotoks.
Right, first half he was very effective, and that was when Alberta was moving the ball best, was with Polzer along the ground.
Well, it's time for a defensive player of the game for Team Quebec.
Take your pick on the D-line.
Right.
Number 56, number 56, Ryan
Payup Teneman. Big number 56. Why not?
Yeah, he played well.
Especially at the start of that third quarter. It seemed like he was everywhere, involved in every play. No, he forgot to do his individual photo.
There you go.
And the winner of the most outstanding offensive player of the game, le joueur offensif du match pour l'équipe du Québec.
Offensive player of the game for Quebec is number 3, Léonard Lemay. Again, the only lock maybe of the 4.
Yeah, that was the obvious.
What a game this young man had.
You know what? And some of these guys look like they're 25 to 30 years old. He doesn't.
No,
he looks like a teenager.
He still looks young.
Yeah. He could pass for 14 years old.
Not at that height with that build.
He's got a big volume.
So, Chad, maybe just give us what your thoughts are going to be going into first the bronze medal game with Alberta, Ontario, and then maybe the Saskatchewan-Quebec gold medal game on Saturday.
Well, I think Alberta and Ontario is a bit of a toss-up. I'm going to look to whoever gets the quick start because, and like you alluded to, right, it's a tough game to play because you're coming off of a loss. And the fashion that Ontario lost, they were right into the end, had a chance to win that game to dethrone the champs. They didn't do it. So if they come in with the wrong frame of mind, they're going to be in for a tough day because this Alberta offense can move the ball. However, if they sort of get it together, I loved what I saw from Ontario and their ability on defense to be able to shut down run games. So if Ontario comes out geared up the way they should be, I think it's going to be a real toss-up of a battle. And Alberta, I mean, this one wasn't close in the second half, so they just need to regroup and get ready to go. And probably easier for Alberta to do that than Ontario. And the gold medal game, I mean, I think we're in for a classic. I really do.
Should be good. Looking forward to Saturday, that is for sure. Another huge shout out to our entire crew here at Foote Field. What an awesome job they did all day long. I'm not going to name names because I'm going to forget someone and then somebody's going to be mad at me, and we don't need that. So on behalf of our crew, Chad Hill, outstanding job on the color commentary. My name is Grayson Knutz, and this has been the 2023 Football Canada Cup semi-final day here. It's a presentation of Sports Canada TV in partnership with IC Live. We'll see everybody back here on Wednesday. Well, actually over Commonwealth on Saturday.